them, then what would be left of the design? Even if the soul of the building won't be lost, all traces of architectural style would be gone. Anyone with the slightest inkling of architectural knowledge would know to leave them alone.
Oh, I understand the principles of what you are saying, of course, but the truth remains that I'm still a bit unhappy with the design as is. Is there anything else that you can do? Oh, actually, I just got an idea. Can we get rid of all the extraneous sections on the roof, so the whole design will just be one vertical structure, similar to that of a tree trunk?
What?
Don't architects often say that symmetry makes everything more balanced and pleasing to the eye? This way, the proportions will be completely balanced.
I really don't know how you managed to come up with such a ridiculous idea. Wait, don't tell me. Someone hired you specifically to commission me and put me through the ringer? Come to think of it, though, I really don't think I've gotten on anyone's bad side recently. Anyway, that's it. I will not be...
Bro, why did all my hearts go down? Bro's always in a bad mood.
Quit following me.
No thanks. Connection. Well, if you would move that little shitty thing out of my way. Internet correct. Yep, it's spinning 999. Great. Yep, not even gonna let me in much. Oh, always nice to me on Instagram. Woodwardian. Okay, chill. Let's go. Oh, I've got 62 subscribers. I like how I keep forgetting. Where is... He's over here being sulky. Being a big sulky baby.
Taking this commission was truly the worst decision ever. Oh, hey. I wasn't expecting to run into you here.
I wish I could have sent a
while we're on
screenshot
that,
of
what are
him
you
just being on
doing
the
here
floor.
at the tavern? Don't listen to anyone who says that drinking is an elegant pastime. It's no good for your health. So you saw that, did you? I
wanna
thought I was in the
squeal.
clear. I made sure to double check that nobody I knew was around. Anyway, thanks for looking out for me. Honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm used to it by now. Stress is just an inescapable part of being a working adult. Boss, I'll have a glass of wine. Same as last time. Do you want something too? I'll put it on my tab.
Can we put it on Alhatham's tab instead, please?
Wine in a glass of juice, coming right up.
I would happily...
I know you're already keeping a secret from me, but if you could add this one to the list as well, I'd really appreciate it. Arguing with a client
I'm the
is
secret
not a good
keeper.
look for me. If word gets out, other potential clients might be afraid to work with me. That guy, though, what was he even going on about? All those ridiculous demands of his? He's just a blabbering fool trying to act like a know-it-all. Another glass, please, boss. I'm not leaving today till someone has to carry me out.
You've got it, sir. I gotta say, though, it almost feels...
It really is every other day that you'd run into a client who knows nothing about construction requirements or architectural style.
Colours just shift. What
I'd
the
never
fuck?
have gone through 6 whole drafts, but perhaps getting used to this just means that I've grown numb to it. I've worked on so many projects since graduation, and none of them have been approved at the first pass. I would spend a lot of time altering my designs, and by the time the clients were finally satisfied, all my passion and enthusiasm would be gone. It feels like I'm straying further and further from my artistic vision with every change I have to make. I suppose
That's just
though,
me
that
in
just
college.
sticking to your guns and
Bro,
completely disregarding
shit.
other people's feedback would also not be a good thing. All of this makes for a real paradox, one that particularly crops up in my work too.
Here's your drink. How are you already
Boss, What do you think is the meaning of art?
He's already
The
slurring his
meaning of
words. Oh,
art.
jeez.
Really, my friend?
Bro.
Who in
I don't.
Sumeru
Even I wouldn't
understands
get that
art
drunk
better
off
than
wine.
you?
Bro.
Anyway, I don't know about art, but I do.
What do you think, traveler?
Can I please just take him home?
Exactly. So our thoughts on the meaning of art are rather similar. In Sumeru,
I didn't like
especially
him.
Sumeru's past, the arts
Best
are
character.
not
Well, he's not
a
best
popular
character, but-
discussion. It's too
Do
bad
I have
that I'm not
cafe?
in my best
I don't,
form
do I?
today. Otherwise, we could have talked about this for a little longer. Sounds great to me. Huh? Where did that come from? I mean, it's not like it's some kind of secret. My mother is also an architect. I've always adored her drawings, and when I was young, I used to sit next to her and watch her bring all kinds of buildings to life on paper.
I'm
You could
just
say my
everyone's
interest in architecture
therapist.
just naturally grew with time. Perhaps. In fact, I have also seen my mother argue with her clients, but she would always quickly find the motivation to return to her work. Unfortunately, I've barely had any contact with her since she remarried and moved abroad. Even if I wanted to ask her about her ability to stay positive after an argument, it would seem rude to barge into her life. I did remember something else, though. When my mother left, she only carried some small personal luggage with her. She left most of the belongings in the house to me. At the time, she even told me that it would be great if I could learn a few lessons from her life experiences, so my life and career could go a little more smoothly. I hadn't quite come to grips with my emotions, and didn't really have it in me to go through any sentimental items. It's been a really long time. Huh? Sorry, I've had too much to drink and wasn't thinking clearly. You're right. I should do these kinds of things with the support of a friend. Speaking of that, I can call you a friend now, right? Either way,
No,
thanks for
mate,
reminding
fuck
me
off.
that I can invite you to come me a headache, so I'll just give it to you straight.
Me, just in general.
Thanks to your advice, I have decided to put my current projects on pause for now, and spend some time trying to rekindle the passion for my craft. If you want to stick around and see how this will turn out, you'll be sure to encounter some bits and pieces of my past. Do you think you'd find that too boring? All right.
I'm finally getting
then
any
let's
choices.
head back together.
That's why I preferred the old ones.
Let me see. I should have tidied up the place
Bitch.
before I left the house this morning. Hatham
I'm
shouldn't be
playing
home
Pokemon.
now either. He's usually in the
Yes!
records room at this time of the day. Anyway, there's no more time for drinks. I'll go take care of the bill.
And then he goes bankrupt. I'll go on the Deep Light Hasher game. Where are we going? Where is the good man? Is he all the way up here? He's all the way up here, ain't he? No.
Squall and Fury. Too slow.
I need to start this. I need to start a lot of things actually. Procrastination is key. Oh well. It's... Why is it like... Why can I feel it on one side of my arm and then barely in the other? Oh, I guess my arm gets...
Alhaitham isn't in, so feel
Really?
free to sit wherever.
Why
I'll
did
bring
he
out the
look
box.
bolder for a second? Bro.
Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. The box is pretty dusty, which means it's already been a while since I've moved into this place. And many years since my mother moved to Fontaine.
Your
I'm
mother's
happy
in
for her.
Fontaine?
I hope
Hey,
she'll
yo!
be able to find happiness there. She raised me all by herself after my father passed away. It definitely wasn't easy for her. Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box. What are all these things?
Drawings.
Oh, I remember now. This is a drawing I made in Port Ormos. Obviously, I wouldn't call it anything special now, but I was less than 5 years old when I'm drawing. That's more than 20 years ago. You could say it's pretty good for a
More
child
than
of
20
that
years
age.
ago, so you're like above 25. Okay. Then again, you're an anime, so you don't look it. You made that when you were 5. Bro, when I was making things in 5, I was making square houses with triangle roofs, with square windows with the little crosses in the middle, a rectangle door with a circle on for the doorknob, the sun in the sky in the just that one corner, and for some reason I found it cool when I was looking at a friend's drawing that they draw a Wi-Fi symbol in the fucking sun. So
Now that I've said that out loud, I suppose I do have... Criticism and self-doubt have always been a part of the artistic process. Without criticism, there can be no improvement. It's normal for me to question my abilities from time to time. I admit that I may have spent a little too long questioning myself this time around, but as you know, the heart tends to dwell on whatever it pleases. Anyway, never mind. The more I talk about it, the less confident I feel. Let's see what else we have in the box. Ah, my building blocks! It's been years
Bro.
since I've last seen
I was
these.
getting excited over
When I
building
was a
blocks.
kid, I used to stack them super high, and could even stabilize the tower to keep it from tumbling over. Oh, and this blueprint. I made it by copying my mother's sketch, and the aspect ratio was horrendous. It's still technically the first blueprint I made myself, though. I was super proud of myself when I finished it, and put it in the same pile as my mother's sketches, hoping she'd notice and compliment me for my good work. Unfortunately, my mother didn't realize that I had put it there. When she had a meeting with a client the next day, she handed my blueprint to him by mistake. The client was completely confused by this new blueprint, but apparently he felt too tongue-tied to question such a famous architect. It was only a few days later that he finally gathered up the courage to pay my mother a visit. He asked, "The door in this blueprint is even taller than the roof. Is this supposed to be part of the design?" My mother took me with her to personally apologize to the client several times. She didn't scold me about it in private, though. Instead, she went over all the steps required to draw a good blueprint, and was very patient throughout the whole process. I still remember it like it was yesterday. Let's see. Is there anything else left in this box? Huh.
Oh,
What
here's
was
from his
this again?
diary as a fucking teenager. Can I read it?
Ah, this is my mother's notebook. She used to write and sketch in it all the time. When I was a child, I used to be super fascinated by this notebook, and always pestered my mother to let me read it. After asking her a few times, she told me that I could read it as long as I could guess the password. Huh. Wonder why she didn't take this notebook with her. Did she leave it to me on purpose?
Well, no.
If only I could. I never managed to guess the password. Hey, it's not a matter of time, it's a matter of inspiration. That's what we need to guess the password. Who knows? Maybe this time something will click in my head, and the answer will just present itself. Let me think. What could it be? I could tell what you were thinking. Don't worry, I tried all the easy guesses a long time ago. I've tried my name, my father's name, my mother's name, my grandparents' names on both sides, and all of our birthdays. I've tried every name and number remotely related to my family. I've
Oh,
even tried stuff like Love You Cave, Take Care, and Yours Truly. I've
okay.
tried every cheesy phrase and well-wish in the book, but this lock has refused to budge. I wouldn't try that route again. I have a hunch that it won't be that simple. Also, if she really did use something like that, she'd never hear the end of it from the folks over at Haravatat if they ever found out. Yeah, you're right. Although I was hoping to find some words of wisdom from my mother, if I stop and think about it, her words may not be the advice that I need to hear right at this moment. Everyone's life journey is different. Traveler, you've visited many lands and met many people, so I'm sure you've run into situations where some advice wasn't exactly suitable for the situation at hand. Ah, I just got an idea, though. If I want to rekindle the creative passion that I had before, instead of trying to unlock an old notebook, why don't I take a walk around the parts of town that had changed my life? What do you think? I'm glad you
It's only
agree.
at one half. Can I walk with you? So I can be like the picture of us walking together. I would love to draw that and then implant Curantor, who is my OC, into it. I don't know how I would, but I would. Oh, don't say you failed to fucking connect. I'm like playing a game whilst waiting like for him to stop talking because I don't want to skip it. I got Tengen, and now I'm trying to do this Lucky Box challenge, and it's saying it's failing to connect to the internet, so it's being annoying. But oh well. Like every other game I own.
Too slow. Too slow.
Bro, it is taking forever to reconnect. I'm going to have to like reset the entire game. I hate this. Okay, so I don't literally no one is watching because Alfie would have said something, Amy would have said something, and Sky is at work. So oh well.
The wind rises.
Yeah.
Of all the places in the academia, I remember this one most. When my studies got busy, I used to pull all-nighters here trying to finish my blueprints. Who doesn't miss their time at the academia? Life was a lot simpler then, and we all had far less troubles. I created many designs that I thought were beautiful in the House of Dana. If I had to give a reason, it'd probably be because I like the ambiance here.
Please
The
don't say
academia
ambience,
also had a rule that
ambience.
allowed scholars to annotate any physical books they came across. As a result, the books here are chock full of scholars' wisdom across many generations.
I hate the slow walking I have to deal with. I don't know where the fuck he went. Nor do I really care.
Oh, here, this is a great example. This book, History of Ancient Sumeru Architecture, contains some analysis that I did many years ago. Huh? Why is Alhatham's handwriting also in here? When did he ever read this book? I guess it's probably from when we worked on that research project together. Anyway, he probably never cared to tell you this, but the House of Dana is where Alhatham and I first met. I came here to do my homework, and saw him sitting by himself next to that row of bookshelves. A group of Haravatat scholars were chatting near him, but he looked as if he was too lazy to join them. There was a pretty stark difference between him and all the rest of them. It was my fault for feeling bad for him. I thought he must have gotten into some kind of trouble and went over to ask if he needed anything, not realizing that...
Not realizing that you were in fact the one in a whole heap of trouble?
Oh. Uh-oh.
I'll hate them? Why are you here?
The House of Dana is a public space. Anyone can come here, no?
But shouldn't you be at the records room at this hour? You're not here to watch me make a fool of myself, are you?
You think I would derive amusement from watching
funny.
you fall into depression over your life's various troubles?
That's just
If
depressing.
that's the case, then I suppose I must have been entertaining myself for years. I came here to pick up a few files. If your voice hadn't managed to get through my soundproof earpieces, I probably wouldn't have noticed you.
All right. I admit I was probably overreacting just now. Probably not when he's right here with us. As his senior, I shouldn't try to tarnish his reputation.
There was nothing embarrassing or shameful about it. When I was still a student at the academia, I once collaborated with Kaveh on a research project. A collaboration is usually beneficial for all parties, but due to issues with our personalities, we ended up going our separate ways before completing the project. We had a number of differences, and they remain unresolved even today. But there's no point going into that right now. The more important question is, why are you at the House of Dana?
As a senior scholar, isn't it my responsibility to offer my friend a quick tour and explanation of the academia's architecture?
I see. Then let me guess. Your next stop will be the pavilions around Razan Garden? Our famed architect sure loves showing off that corner to all his friends. Oh, and Kaveh, a lot of the books you annotated have been moved to the innermost section of that bookshelf over there. You'll have to dig them out yourself if you need to find them.
Huh? But why would you know that? Don't tell me you finally had an epiphany and realized that there's great virtue in respecting your elders' work.
Sure, if that will give you some self-confidence. Leave any words of thanks you may have to the ex-Grand Conservator. The last time he was here, he was complaining that he had received reports from current students. The main grievance being that the annotations are too long and difficult to read. As a result, the books you annotated have been moved to the back shelves.
What? But all of my annotations were extremely important. Instead of reporting me, they should have been thanking me for my service. The notes that I took, they couldn't have asked for a better analysis of those books. Okay, just you wait. I'm going to fix this right now. I'll dig all the books out and return them to the proper shelves.
Oh, we'll wait. Anyway, you were about to say he's feeling a bit down? Put through the ringer. What an interesting phrase. I assume he used those exact words himself. He probably did suffer quite a bit, that's true. He always spends a lot of time editing his proposals, with the goal of satisfying as many of the client's preferences as possible. But the satisfaction of one client will not translate to general satisfaction with his work. Many problems in life can only be solved by a fundamental change of attitude. As the leading genius of Kasharwar, there are plenty of architects who clearly his predicament is inevitable, since he... Of course, each person is different, and we should respect the paths that they... Admonitions will serve no purpose.
Looks like you were having an enjoyable chat while I was gone. Were you talking about me by any chance?
What do you think?
What else is there to talk about? Surely no one would be interested in talking about the files that you were browsing through earlier. Anyway, you should take a look at this. Look at this comment on page 82. Dear Kaveh, Thank you so much for annotating this book in such detail. It was a great help to me. See that? Now that's how a student should treat their seniors.
And it looks like you're already in a much better mood now. It really doesn't take much to make you happy, huh?
Me happy? I'm mocking that retired blockhead for being so full of himself. He understands nothing about the true beauty of architecture. When I can find some time, I'll have a serious talk with him about making sure these books are put where they belong.
Why don't you just move all the books yourself? It's not like he hasn't cursed you out before. What was that nickname he gave you while you were in the academia? The Urchin of Kasharwar? Kaveh had a habit of scribbling and writing in all kinds of books.
Hey! You didn't need to bring that up. At least not when I'm still standing here. Oh, actually, I also found a really old sketch in one of the books over there. See? Doesn't it remind you of something? Huh? Don't tell me.
Don't ask me. This is the time you specifically put aside to brag about yourself. Feel free to hoard all the spotlight you want.
You... In that case, allow me to explain. Although this sketch is a little abstract, you can plainly see from the road plans that this was an original concept for the expansion of Port Ormos.
We can also...
If
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
getting
keep,
boring.
there
I'm
shouldn't
just gonna
be
start
any...
skipping shit at this
There
point.
are...
See? What? Come on. Let's take a stroll.
No need.
Suit your...
Okay. That makes more sense. Oh, we take the elevator.
Fury. Quit following me.
Bro, then why did it tell me to go up here?
Behold.
Can I just walk off the edge, please?
The wind rises.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Behold.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Should really pick out my clothes for tomorrow, because college is gonna be stressful as shit.
Squall Fury. Too slow.
Oh, I got all the way to Port almost. Are you kidding me? That's a quest. Okay, we could do this. I just need 60 primo gems, and I thought this would be the fastest way to get them, and yet it's not the fastest way to get them, so I'm just finding this pointless already. Bro, just... Okay, give me the cutscene.
Port Ormos.
Mom, no shit.
No, I didn't design any one specific building. Most of my work here concerned structural renovation. Port Ormos had already existed since I was still a young child. It wasn't as large as it is now, though. It only came to its current size after a sizable expansion. I was part of that project. The arch bridge over there, for example, that was one of my designs. When I was first tasked with the project, I decided to reference the growth patterns of nearby trees to split Port Ormos into 2 levels. My goal was to improve the overall utilization of space. We ran into a lot of issues during construction, but thankfully, we were still able to achieve the original vision. Residents can now behold all the ships entering and leaving the harbor from the vantage point of the bridge, while visitors can recognize the site of Port Ormos from a long ways away. I was still young and new to the trade back then. I could hardly believe that an idea in my head could become reality and remain in the world for many years to come. The true cornerstone of the creative process. The point once built a... You think so? I'm glad to hear that. But even with this project, I still had one small regret. My budget was tight, and I was unable to use the higher quality timber I had originally intended for the design. I knew that some concessions on aesthetics would be needed as soon as I agreed to a proposal that prioritized the practical functions of the project. Us creative types know better than anyone that most projects cannot be completed without a few regrets. Yeah, you're right. I should learn to look toward future opportunities, and believe that any regrets I have can be overcome in time. We've spent long enough here. There's still one last place I want to go, but it's great. This is a rare opportunity. If you ever feel down, maybe you'll be able to go there and feel better.
He wants to go all the way to the fucking desert. Are you kidding me? Where the fuck is this guy wanting to go? Take cover to the desert. I really wouldn't want to. Right, hangout events are literally hangout events. And then they've got the cool picture at the end, not like this shit.
Quit following me.
Oh god, my internet's been shitty. I've just realised how bad my ping is again.
Too slow.
Follow him? No. I don't want to. Ooh, who's dealing with me on Song Pop? It is new parties. So have I got no one new wanting to fight me on the fucking game?
Who would have thought that so many primal constructs could have congregated here while I was gone? We won't be able to sit and talk peacefully with these guys around. Let's clear the area.
Bitch, what? Yo!
Site clear.
Alright, it's giving me shit ping, so it's not letting me damage them, because the game is shit despite me being literally right next. Well, not right next, but as close to the internet box as I can get. But it's gonna be like this when I finally get my booster in my room as well.
Isn't this place cool? And I got into a huge pile of debt building the Palace of Alcazarzaray. Although I'll thinks that it's because of my personality that I continue to live in the shadow of the past. You could probably say...
Come on.
Life is too... Of course, But still, isn't this place beautiful? Despite the erosion from the winds and changing seasons, you can still perceive its past beauty and glory. With different landforms come different architectural styles. The desert's history has left it with few records regarding its buildings, so the site here has... My pain will... They are far more valuable than most materialistic things, and far more durable than human flesh. As long as there remain souls in the world who can decipher the meaning
I'm very
behind
much
them,
listening.
they will also have acknowledged... If
I'm
you
playing
were
my
to
alchemy
ask
game
me
at this
argue,
point.
You think
Or
so?
just shut up.
Remember that I still haven't... Those who I'll try gather... In any
Like,
case...
you're cool and all, but, like, they talk for too long. Ooh. Not reviewing for... I want to see the picture. That's pretty. Bounce doesn't want me to go. Oh, it's right there. I'm blind. Can I make glass? Yeah! Oh god, the voice crack! I'm just gonna stay here for a second.
Alhaitham isn't in, so feel free to sit wherever. I'll bring out the box. Oh, nothing. I just didn't realize how much time had passed. The box is pretty dusty, which means it's already been a while since I've moved into this place. And many years since my mother moved to Fontaine. I'm happy for her. Anyway, enough about that. Let's see what I packed into this box.
Stuff.
What are all these things? Oh, I remember now.
Great.
This is a drawing I made in Port Ormos. Obviously, I wouldn't call it anything special now, but I was less than 5 years old when I made this. Now that I've said criticism and I admit that my building blocks. Oh, I was super unfortunate. It was only a few days later that my mother took me with. She didn't scold me about it in private, though. Instead, she went over all... Let's see. Is there anything else left in this box? Huh. This is when I was a child. Huh. Wonder... If only Hey, it's not a matter of time. Who knows? Maybe this time something... I could tell what you were thinking. I've tried mine. I've even tried... I wouldn't try that. So we could find someone who was close to my mother was never... Let me think. Is there... Huh. You've never really heard of her? She's a famous Gasharwar scholar.
I didn't even get to read it, I was just spamming.
Design. My mother studied under her as a student many years ago. Professor Zaha Hadid published many works during her career, so I was able to learn a lot by studying her essays. If there's anyone... She's older now. Let's go take a look.
But I'd expect she is older. My dude. But I'm gonna go check on this because it has been running for some time. Oh, that food smells nice. Oh shit. Well, that's what I get for having to listening to Cafe for too long. Oh well. Well, I'm gonna go. I've got this far, so goodbye, I guess. Oh well. That was meant to happen, not whatever the fuck that was.